Well, hello YouTubers, and welcome back to another edition of Zerks&Wheels Pipe Welding 101. This is going to be episode 2. Today we're going to be altering a pipe, and we have to maintain alignment of the existing flange here. And the problem is with this is that I could cut the flange off and then just shorten the pipe by the 2 inches that it needs to be shortened by. But then I'm going to have alignment problems, and I can't really get the flange square on this short leg because of the welds that are already here. That means I'd have to grind the welds off and then put a new cover weld on there. So in order to avoid that, we're going to show you how to shorten a pipe, maintain the alignment, and keep from having to get too complicated. So all you need basically is a piece of angle iron and a Sharpie to mark your pipe. Now some of us, I've done this in the past too, is just lay a straight edge on top of the pipe and draw a line, and then of course shorten up the pipe by whatever length that you got to do. The problem is with that, it's not very accurate, and reason being for it is you can't quite get the alignment on the crest of the pipe all the time like you'd like. That's where this piece of angle iron comes in, because when you lay this on a piece of pipe, no matter which way you orient it, you can't twist or parallax the angle iron here. So no matter which way you got it, you're always going to have a nice line going down the long axis of the pipe in parallel with the center of the pipe. So you're never going to get any kind of unless of course your piece of angle iron is bent, but then of course it won't lay down properly on the pipe. Now granted, this is not down to tenths or anything like that. This is just it's down in the low fraction range, like in the 128ths, 64th range, in that, or tenth, half millimeter range for those of you using metric. So it's not that hyper accurate, but it's accurate enough for what this application is for. So I'll bring you around here and show you the procedure on how to mark your pipe, and then where you can cut it, that sort of thing, and go from there. Okay, this is the leg we're going to shorten. So all we're going to do is draw a series of lines with this Sharpie. I'm going to make them nice and fat. And it's always a good idea to make more than one. Preferably 3 or 4. Oops, that one didn't turn out too well. Yeah, that's all right. So now all we have to do is cut the pipe. So once we cut the pipe, so then once we cut the pipe, all we have to do is realign our marks, past the dressing. You can take the piece of angle iron, re-extend your initial line if you want, but then all you have to do again too is lay your piece of angle iron on the pipe once it's cut. You're going to have to anyway, in order to get the parallelity back into the pipe, and then just line it up on the marks. So that's going to be the easiest way. And so now I'm going to go ahead and cut the pipe, and then I'll bring you back once that section is cut, and then we're going to put it back together. So now we're in the reassembly part, so we're going to need a special clamp. In this case we got just a regular old clamp with some angle iron welded to the jaws of it. So we're going to fix our angle iron that we used to mark the pipe with between the welds, and it's kind of a pain in the ass to get this stuff going, but once you got it going, it'll fall right into place. Tighten that up good. Well, we've got to leave our mark a little more clear so we can see our mark over here. Now the reason we make 3 marks and of differing widths is so that you can differentiate the position of the pipe. So now we're going to lay our mark on here, a piece of shortening wire on top of that. And now we can slide it up to our mark and then get it lined up with the root. It's kind of a pain in the butt. Oops, stay here. So we're going to go through that exercise again here in just a second. And voila, there we are. Now we're ready to weld. And I'll bring you guys back when I get this all welded up. You've seen TIG welding before, so I'm sure it's nothing new. And like I said, I'll bring you guys back when that's all done. Well, here's our completed weld. The alignment of the pipe is just about perfect. The orientation of the holes on the flange are where they were originally, on account of our alignment marks on the pipe being lined up just the way they were. And so this part, this alteration is done. Now the next move is to put a different flange on the other end of this pipe, and for that we'll show you how to use the pipe flange square. We'll introduce you to the tool as well, and show you how to get a pipe flange square, or a pipe flange square with the pipe. So let me got a few alterations to do to the flange first, so I got to get that done before I can move on, and then also shorten the other end of the pipe. And so I'll do that off camera and bring you guys back when I'm getting ready to weld on the new flange. So here's our setup, a brief walkthrough. Now what we're going to do here is check level on this long part, and it's right on the money. Now we got to check level over here. And here we are, fairly level too. So these two legs have to be level so that this is all square. So now we're going to square up these two bolt holes. These have to be level so that they're parallel to the long axis over here. So let's put this on here. So there we go. So now we're level. What we got here is a welding magnet in the pipe, in the tube, that is holding this up. You can use whatever you have, either another piece of pipe that's a snug enough fit to where you can slip the flange over it, a board cut just wide enough to slip in there. It doesn't really matter, just as long as you kind of get it fixed to where it'll stay in there. So now we got a little gaposis going here, And now it's time to put the first tack on and then square it all up with the flange square. Okay, so we gave it about a 1/4 inch wide tack in order to be able to apply a little bit of force depending on which way we've got to go on with the flange square. Means how you're bending on this weld a little bit, it's got to be able to withstand a little bit of pressure. Of course, now that it's been tacked, everything is on the parallel where it needs to be. So now we're going to pull our magnet out. Don't need that anymore. We'll leave these bolts in for now. We don't need to pull these out. Now here's our flange square. This is what he looks like. So I'll set him on here like this. And then check behind check at 90 degrees. See just which way we need to go. Okay, down here on the bottom we can see a little daylight, so we got to bring the bottom out. And on this side, it's laying flush over there, and we got a little gap post over here, so we need to move this bolt out that way. So let me do that off camera and come back and check. Now here's the application of the square, and you lay it down the long axis of the pipe on the crest, and over the top you go, and no daylight down here, no daylight down here. I had to pull it with a tack weld in order to get it to pull in straight. I overcorrected, and so it didn't really want to pull back in, so there we're flush right there and flush right there. So now we're ready to give it a few more tacks, double check, and weld it up. Well, YouTubers, that's a wrap for today. I got this all welded on and ready to go. So I'll take the bolts out of the flange here, and one thing I forgot to mention is when you put the bolts in the flange, to seat them at the very bottom so that you don't get a false reading on your level. Otherwise, there is enough slop usually in these holes to allow for some tolerance one way or the other. But when it comes to putting this stuff together, you really should try to get it as accurate as you can, because sometimes those tolerances are going to disappear real fast when you get some other crook and misalignments taking place that you can't otherwise control. So that's the basic setup on how to weld on a flange on a pipe, at least using a square, or a flange square I should say. There's lots of different ways to skin a cat, so there's probably somebody out there that got a better way, and if you do, by all means, leave a comment in the comment section below, or just share your thoughts, or if nothing else, just to say hi. So anyway, I'd like to thank all my loyal subscribers for stopping by and taking a look. Hope you got something out of this, and for the new subscribers out there, stay tuned. There's going to be lots more other stuff coming up, and for those of you who just signed on, go back and look in the archives. There's plenty of material there to draw from on different subjects. So don't be shy and poking around in there and see what you can find. Who knows, there might be something in there you like. Whatever brought you to this channel. I'm sure there's going to be more that of whatever material that it is that brought you here. So anyway, thanks for stopping by, and we'll see you guys in the next episode.